Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I'll be talking about Mr. Lonnie Walker IV from my San Antonio Spurs. So in the past week, Lonnie's been getting consistently a couple more minutes in the Spurs rotation. And though I don't think he'll play much in the playoffs. I do think a lot of these new minutes are because Pop trying to rest the starters and all that to get them ready for the playoffs, keep them well rested. But in his limited minutes, he has done some big things. He's put up 16 points at Denver. Even though it was all in the fourth quarter where the game was pretty much over, a lot of that was against Denver Nuggets starters before they were pulled out of the game. So first I'll talk about his pros. I'll go into some stuff he did in Miami. And what I think about him, what I think he could become, stuff like that. I'll show you some videos, break down some of his plays. Then I'll give you his cons and my finishing thoughts. So let us begin. So Lonnie Walker IV, he's a 20-year-old shooting guard / small forward at 6'5". So he's got some nice size, and he's very athletic and a pretty fast guy too. On Lonnie Walker, we picked him with the 18th pick in the 2018 NBA draft. And what I like about him, he's very young, he's got some nice size, long, athletic. I mean, in terms of his offense is pretty good. I like his offense. He's a very nice playmaker, a pretty good passer. From what I saw in college, he wasn't as great of a playmaker for his teammates. He was more of scoring, only averaging 2 assists in Miami. But I think he blossomed much better as a playmaker for his teammates in the G League and Summer League, and his new found minutes with the Spurs in the big leagues. And I think he's a good playmaker. I think he could legitimately be. I don't think he's like the point guard on the team. I think Derek and DeMar are like the ball handlers, but he's a nice ball handler for the team going forward, possibly next year. I like that. He's a good shooter. Looking at his shooting numbers from Miami, they're not great, but working with Spurs, a renowned shooting guard, Chip England, I think he's gotten a lot better at shooting. But overall, his shooting stroke is good. It's a good shot. But looking at, I'll just tell you his numbers right now. 74% from the free throw line, not great. 35% from 3, okay. I'd like to see that go into the 40-38 range. And 42% field goal, that's alright. It could still be higher at 45-ish, 46. And from what I've seen with the Spurs, he really worked on that in his limited minutes. He's a good shooter. I think he can get better over the summer as well. Because I do want him to work on that free throw shooting. Because he has missed a couple of free throws here and there. I think if he can get to 80-ish%, I'd be good with them. But 74, too low for a guy who goes to the line as much as he does. So I talked about he's a good size, 6'5", shooting guard / small forward. I think he could play like small forward how DeRozan's playing it right now, where he's like still kind of shooting guard, ball handler, but he's technically a small forward because he's got 2 smaller guys in Derek and Bryn. I think he could do something like that. But his traditional spot is as a shooting guard. And he's a good ball handler. I like his ball handling skills. And honestly, I don't think he'll be like the point guard on the team, but he's a very nice ball handler. I can see him as a good, how should I say, a good outlet for the team, just for someone to give the ball handling duties away from like Derek and DeMar, and give the ball into his hands to make plays instead of like Patty Mills off the bench. And sorry, not mean to do that, but. And yeah, I'll look at his Miami averages now. 11.5 points per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2 assists, 2.6 rebounds. And his numbers, 74% free throw, 35% from 3, 42% field goal. In 28 minutes per game. And I think he played around 30, about 30 games. And yeah, in his lone season as a freshman, he emerged as the starter on the team. And really became the best player on the team as a freshman. It was to lead his team to the NCAA tournament, March Madness, but unfortunately lost in the I guess it'd be the first round, to Loyola Chicago. And I did not watch the game when it happened, but I was looking through the highlights, and he had a bit of a choke game here. Late in the game, he had a big turnover, which they were able to capitalize on, I believe. And he missed 2 big free throws that would have closed the game. I do not like his free throw shooting. And not at all. But I did see him more in his regular season, and he did make a lot of big plays. I'll show you a video on that very soon. But that was not a good game. That one gave me a little less confidence in what he can do. Because in the biggest moment, he did not come through. So now those are his pros. That's what I like about him. So now I'll show you a couple of videos, break down some of his abilities, let's say. What he can do, what he can't do for his cons after the video. Okay. So this video was from his Miami days. The college has released this video. And here, I won't talk in this one, I'll just be like it's narrated or whatever, but they'll show you some of his highlights, what his coach thinks about him, stuff like that. It's not very long, so just enjoy this part of the video.
Walker with 5, 4, shoots for the win.
Lonnie kind of took it upon himself to make big plays and make big shots.
Miami has time. Walker has the buzzer, yes. Walker with 5, 4, shoots for the win.
I think it was really in the Louisville game that set the stage for all of his end-of-game heroics for the remainder of the season.
Lonnie Walker driving.
Plays like those, when people ask me, that's a natural thing. I'm a very athletic guard, and I've always been a very athletic guard. And to do a move like that, with enough hang time, you kind of get used to directing the ball where it should go and where it shouldn't go. So that's more so natural rather than practice. That's in my DNA. When it's time to hit the final shot, tie the game, go to overtime, that's what I'm built for. So when that time comes later down the road, if I have to take that shot again, I'm will without hesitation.
So that right there shows you some of his clutch plays, and you see what his coach, it is his coach, so you just have to talk good about him. But just looking at what he did, he had a big game-winning 3 over, I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Louisville where he hit a big 3 to win the game. And then that was an incredible shot, going to the rim, changing hands, almost Michael Jordan-esque. That absolutely big time. So I do love that about him, where they're saying this kind of stuff about him, that he can come up big in big moments. But as I said a couple seconds ago, what he did in that in March Madness, that was a choke of the highest order. You can't do that. You at least have to make those free throws. A turnover, I get, but you have to make those free throws. That is unacceptable. But here, I'll break down his play against Denver. This one will be silent from the broadcasters talking about it. I have that muted. And this time it will just be me talking about it, breaking down what he can do. Now. Okay, so this is against Denver in the 3rd quarter right now. But let's see. So he gets the ball. And I love this about him. He's done this a couple of times over the season. He can just go coast to coast. I love that about him. And he's a good finish. So he just catches him off guard, goes all the way to the rim. I forgot to say this, but he's a very good driver. Nice in between game right there. He's a good shooter. From what I've seen from him, he's a pretty good shooter. Bang, just good shots here. I think he hit two or three threes in this game. And there's his first one. So yeah, in this game he put up 16 points. So just no hesitation, just let it fly. And he can hit them. I think that's because of Chip England Hot coaching from Pop, pretty good. And good finish. You can see that Michael Jordan-esque change in transition. Good finish. Right here, just pull up 3. Bang. Just no hesitation. I think Chip England so far done a great job with this kid. I love it. So gotta work on those free throws, but I like the growth we see. This one not really a highlight, but it just shows his athleticism. Now the free throws here makes the first one. That's good. But yeah, he's an incredibly athletic dude. I think Pop said that he's the most athletic player on the team. I mean, you got DeMar DeRozan on that team. That's pretty good. So here he's playing the Pelicans. A nice performance here. Did not play too much. But these were his first prominent minutes. And he did, of the season, he did pretty well. And that's a good job getting that loose ball. It's a good jumper. Well, let me get that ad out of the way. So yeah, just good shooter. From what I've seen in the NBA, good shooter. I haven't watched too much of him in G League. That's where he's been most of the season. But he's been solid in the pros from what I've seen. Good defense there, getting the steal. And again, going coast to coast. Ooh. You need a bucket? He'll get you a bucket. That's the speed. Just turn on the brakes. Goes all the way. Dang, looking a little blurry here. Actually, you know what? I'll just finish it there because it does not look too gray. Yeah, it's too blurry. Oof. But that's all I want to show you from the tape anyway. That was essentially it. So, you can see what I like about him, what I don't like about him. I'll go into that right now. His cons. He appears to be injury prone. He's had a couple of torn meniscus. He's torn his meniscus in the pros. Before the season started, he tore his meniscus in preseason. And I think he had a torn meniscus in college as well. And he got hurt in summer league, I think his ankle. So, I'll need to see him stay healthy. He's still very young. His body's still developing. But he's got to stay healthy. And for his size, he must be a better defender. Because he's got great size. And in Miami, I heard he was not a very good defender. But he has all the physical tools to be a great defender. I think with Pop and the great Spurs culture, I think they'll drill him on that. I think he will become a very good defender. I don't think it'll be Lonnie Walker. Kawhi Leonard-esque defender, Danny Green-ish. But I think he'll be very good. I think he'll be DeJounte Murray-ish. Currently, first time I saw this kid, I thought of a combination between Derek White and DeJounte. Where I'm thinking he's got the athleticism of DeJounte. He's got the speed. But he also has the good shooting of Derek. He's got good vision. Good ball handling from both guys, really. I think he has the most upside out of both of these guys. Defensively, he still needs to work on it. Still needs to work on his free throws, staying healthy. But he has a lot of upside, very raw, nice potential. Now I want to talk a little bit about him off the court. In San Antonio and in Reading, Pennsylvania, his hometown, he's been an absolute class act. He said all the right things, doing that community service, helping out San Antonio. He is kind of a hero in Reading. They have a viewing party in the NBA draft for him. I watched that, and they love this kid, really. He's really, as a class act, he's been a class act. He's been a great guy, great personality. And I think he'll be a great Spur. Now, finishing touches. He's still very raw, still very young, 20 years old, incredibly young. And he needs to clear up those injuries. I don't want to see him out for a couple weeks every year. I do not want to see that. But I think next year he'll be able to take that next step. In the offseason, working with Chip England and some of the other Spurs guys, I think he'll become a nice contributor on the Spurs next season. Whether could be starting, but I think he'll start off. I think he'll start off the bench, And I think, yeah, needs to work on his defense for sure. I think Pop and DeJounte Derrick, they'll do a great job drilling him on that. That's really all I've got. I think this kid has enormous potential. He could be a star, but he could be a good starter. A good starter-esque player who can come up big in big moments. In crunch time, I'm not sure if I trust him yet. That Loyola Chicago L gave me a lot of doubts about his clutch time performance. But watching that video did help me out. And I think he could be great. But that's all I have for today. Bit of a different video because Lonnie Walker hasn't really done much in terms of playing for San Antonio. I'm just talking about like Derek White, who has a season under his belt, or DeJounte Murray, or even DeRozan, guys like that. But Lonnie Walker, he's just a different animal. I just really need to talk about him not getting significant minutes. He could see some minutes in the playoffs, though I doubt it. I think he'll become a great contributor for next season. And that's really all I got. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate the support. Peace out, boys.